TrimUI Brick, a handheld barely anyone talks about, is one of the more unique budget handhelds that's been floating around the retro gaming scene. If this thing barely rings a bell for you, don't worry, you're not alone. TrimUI Brick is tiny, weirdly shaped, and definitely not for everyone. But for the right kind of gamer, it might just be a fun little device to have in your collection. So, what exactly is the TrimUI Brick? At first glance, it looks like a Game Boy got crushed in a vise, but in a good way. It's small, lightweight, and designed for quick pick-up and play sessions. The size alone makes it super portable, even compared to other budget retro handhelds like the Miyoo Mini Plus or the Anbernic RG35XX. It easily fits into your pocket, though whether you want to carry it around daily is another story. The TrimUI Brick sports a 2.4-inch IPS 1024 by 768 screen, which isn't massive, but it's bright and crisp enough for retro games. Given the resolution and aspect ratio, it's perfect for classic consoles and even some PlayStation 1 titles. The design, however, is where things get a little divisive. It's an ultra-compact brick-shaped device, which means it's not the most ergonomic handheld out there. If you've got bigger hands, you might find it uncomfortable for longer play sessions. So, how does it handle games? Well, for 8-bit and 16-bit consoles, TrimUI Brick does just fine. NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Sega Genesis. All of these run smoothly with no major issues. PlayStation 1 emulation is possible but not ideal. Don't expect perfect performance on demanding titles. This is where opinions will be all over the place. The TrimUI Brick has a D-pad, 4 face buttons, and 2 shoulder buttons. The buttons are clicky and feel decent for the price. The D-pad, surprisingly solid. But the size of the device means there's not a lot of room for comfortable hand placement. It's like Miyoo Mini Plus, but even smaller. For a device this small, battery life is surprisingly decent. With a 1000 mAh battery, TrimUI Brick gives you around 4 to 5 hours of playtime on a full charge. Charging is done via USB-C, which is always a plus, especially in a budget handheld. Let's stack the TrimUI Brick against some of its closest competitors. Compared to the Miyoo Mini Plus, the Brick is more compact but less comfortable. The Miyoo Mini Plus has a larger screen, better ergonomics, and stronger community support, but it's also bulkier and more expensive. The Anbernic RG35XX is another competitor, offering more power and better screen size, HDMI output, and dual microSD slots. But again, it's larger and less pocketable. And the TrimUI Brick is the only one with built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, making it unique for multiplayer gaming and wireless controller support. Community reception for TrimUI Brick has been mixed, but generally positive. Users praise its compact design, high-resolution screen, and Wi-Fi/Bluetooth support. On the downside, some criticize its audio quality and limited emulation capabilities beyond PS1. Many users are experimenting with different firmware setups, sharing tips, and tweaking settings to get the most out of their devices. While it might not have the same level of support as the Miyoo Mini Plus or Anbernic RG35XX, the growing interest in custom firmware suggests a dedicated community willing to improve the experience. So, is the TrimUI Brick worth picking up? That depends entirely on what you need from a retro handheld. The TrimUI Brick does a solid job if you want something compact, lightweight, and capable of casual retro gaming. It stands out with its Wi-Fi and Bluetooth support, making it one of the few budget handhelds with wireless connectivity. Plus, the high-resolution screen is a nice touch for a device this small. However, if battery life and customization are your priority, the Miyoo Mini Plus is a better fit. It has stronger community support with Onion OS and runs longer on a single charge. If you're after better emulation performance and extra features like HDMI output, the Anbernic RG35XX might be the better option. At the end of the day, the TrimUI Brick is a fun little handheld that serves a specific niche. If you value portability over raw power, this might be worth adding to your collection. But if you're looking for better ergonomics, performance, or long-term community support, there are stronger alternatives out there.